Hey, welcome to my lab notes. I'm Alan, and I help founders save hours a week by building custom software and automations that work for them. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create your own custom GPT. So let's go. So when you go to chatgpt.com, what most people do is just starting typing the question. That's the wrong way of doing it. If you've read my newsletter, you know why custom GPTs are such a game changer. If you haven't read the newsletter, I recommend reading that. I'm going to put the link in the description below. So whenever I have a new discussion to start, I always start with my custom GPT, which is called Cathy. I like to give them first name, as you can see, Cathy, Aura, Glade, Mel, etc. And I'm gonna talk to Cathy to basically help me build the first prompt for, in that case, a custom GPT, but that could be a new chat. And I'm gonna say, so help me learn iOS development by teaching me as I go in Xcode. I'm gonna send that. Oops. And what Cathy will do is it will generate a system prompt that you can use either in the new chat or to build your own custom GPT. So let's just wait for it to finish. All right, so what Cathy did is, and by the way, I'm gonna give you the link to Cathy so you can just use it as you go. You don't have to do anything. But basically it creates the system prompt, the instruction, the goals, the stack, the teaching style, etc., etc. So the prompt is already structured for you to use. Just copy paste. And so it's gonna put a few assumptions it made. So for example, it says I want to use Swift UI. Maybe I wanted to do something else, so I have to rectify. But it's just gonna say the few assumptions and ask you a few questions to kind of dive deeper or make it more specific. But you can basically start with these, and then basically you have variants. So of course, ChatGPT will always ask you to ask it more stuff. But from now, we're just gonna use that. And so I'm gonna copy the code. And now I'm gonna create a custom GPT. So if I go in my sidebar, I have this GPT section. I can just click explore. And at the top right, I have a create button. Now, if you have a paid account like me for the plus subscription, then you can do that. If you have a free account on ChatGPT, in that case, you can just stop right there because you won't be able to create custom GPTs. I think it's for now, at least at the time of this video, December 2025. You cannot create custom GPTs unless you have a paid subscription. So what I recommend you do in that case is just use Cathy. Again, I'm going to put the link in the description. Just use that to start a new prompt. So you just generate the prompt and go to a new chat, paste that in, enter, and then you start working. And it will keep this as the first instructions and you can carry on. Now, if you have a paid subscription, you can create your own custom GPT. And so we would do this like this. By default, you would land on this tab. Oh, it likes to copy paste, right, for you. And what people tend to do is that they start chatting with this wizard and it would generate the instructions for you. But I don't really want to use that because it's not very structured, it's not really well done. So instead, I use Cathy and then I come straight to the configure tab, and then I give it a name. So I'm going to give it the name of the one I already have, the iOS mentor. And I would just paste the instructions right there. Now, I'm done. I can add a quick picture. If I want to, I can use ChatGPT for that, DALL-E. I can put a description, but it's not really necessary. And then if you have additional material that you want to use, like for example, a full template of your branding, marketing examples, etc., you could always upload these as files, like PDFs or text files, because you have a limitation of 9,000 characters in the instructions. So that might sound a lot, but in the end, I've run a couple times where Cathy is generating such a long instructions with so many details that ChatGPT says this is too long. So what I do is I split it in two sections. The instructions that are straightforward, and then you have the knowledge where you can upload many files. The model, I try to put always the latest because otherwise people will be stuck on whichever model they were using last, and that might be an old version. So I like to keep updating it, and then you would select which capabilities. I always keep these three by default, and if this is something for code, definitely, which is the case now, I'm just going to check that box so it can write code. And from here, I'm basically done, and I can click create. Then I can specify if it's just for me or if I like to share it. So for now, it's going to be just for me. And I click save. From there, it's just going to give me the link. So I can say view, it's gonna open it for me. And I can then add it, come on, let's go. There you go. From there, I can just, it's already adding it to my sidebar. So I can keep it there. And so for the next time I come to ChatGPT, I would just come here and start talking to EOS, and EOS would know whatever I'm trying to achieve. I don't have to re-explain, oh, I'm trying to build an app, blah, 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 blah. So this is how you do it in ChatGPT. Now, if you have a Google Workspace account, paid, obviously, so you have Gmail for work, you have by default Gemini Pro, which is great, and which is useful when you need to work with private data or sensitive data from your clients, and you don't really want to use ChatGPT for it. So you can switch to Gemini, and they have the exact same thing. That's called the gems. So when you are in Gemini, you just quickly open the sidebar and then you go to gems. You click on that, and that's basically the same interface, or very similar at least. You click new gem, and you have the exact same interface to create. So I would have the exact same thing, EOS, the iOS mentor. Instructions, you just paste that writing out of the output from Cathy. You can also, for the knowledge, this one you can actually add from your Google Drive, which is convenient. So you don't have to add the file, save as PDF, upload. So you can just create Google Docs, or even spreadsheets actually. And from there, you're done, man. There's nothing else you need to do. And so once you do that, moving forward, you can start chatting with this gem. It's gonna live in your sidebar, and you can always access the entire list of your gems here. And you can use it the same way, and you're gonna see the output is gonna be dramatically different. Now, like I said, link in the description below. I'm gonna also put the link to my newsletter where I share tips like this, so feel free to subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.